Nick, I don't often apologise. I will apologise to the flat stickers who I called cowards and told them to grow up during the week. I was wrong. I've misgendered a Ford. I thought it was an AU. It was a BA. I thought the RTV only was ever done in the AU and he switched the bodies. I was wrong. I was wrong. Ladies and gentlemen, that is my formal apology. I was wrong.
Oh, this is... I don't know if we can continue from here, Brett. I was getting a lot of messages. I was getting a lot of comments, and I thought, look, I'm not that familiar with the AU. I'm more familiar with the older Fords. You know, yep. I'm an EB, EF kind of guy, all those kind of ones.
I refuse to back down on the social media. I think I told Brad to go fuck himself repeatedly. Yeah. You know what I mean? Not only once. I even slid into his DMs and called him a stupid cunt.
So maybe you should do a public apology on Instagram after this story.
No, I'm not. This is shameful enough. You get one apology. This is the fucking apology. Brad, you can still go fuck yourself, all right? Thought I was right, but I was wrong. I'm sorry. There you go. I've done it. That's it. Let's move on. I'm by the sounds of this weekend, I've got to make a lot of fucking apologies because shit hit the fucking fan.
All right. So take us through this, Brett. So what were you doing on the weekend? So you'd painted the room?
I painted 2 of the rooms. I still got half the house to do. Mm-hmm. Had to move in. I've scheduled the removalist to come in over a month ago.
Okay.
Now, Nicholas, what do you know about my comedy and about my previous work life?
I know, Brett, that you are the nicest guy ever, and you jump in front of a bullet for people.
Yes.
However, when you're in work mode, nothing gets in the way. Once the Brett train is going, do not get in the way. Do not try to add suggestions. Do not try to tell Brett what to do. You just got to get run over by the train. Then the train might apologise later, depending on who you are. So judging from that, I was very keen to see how you went with removalists and what you ordered 2 removalists, did you?
So previously, I've worked as a removalist. I reckon I've done over 1,000 moves. I don't want to sound too confident, but probably in the top 4 best removalists to have ever existed. Doesn't matter. Yeah. We're not here to count numbers. XL driver, truck driver. I've got it all. Anyway.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't hire the company I used to work for, Man with a Van, because I didn't think I needed them, because I just needed a person who had a truck and I was going to do most of the work. You know what I mean? Okay. Like, I got my trolley. I'm ready to go. I brought all the furniture down into the carport. All I had to do was reverse the truck up, load it. I said it was going to be a 2-hour job, maybe 3 hours or whatever, if you're shit house at your job. So, basically, the guys were scheduled for 11 o'clock to come. I spent all morning bringing all the furniture down, getting it ready to go, sorting it exactly in the order that it needed to go into the truck. I'm like fucking. I know you play Tetris, but I am real life Tetris when I'm in the back of a truck.
Tetris. I could imagine you doing this. And what you said that you wanted to squash your reputation of being an absolute fucking psychopath. So you went out and got some coffees and shit for him and some beers or whatever?
Well, no, because I know when you have removalists, and a lot of people respect the craft of removalists, right? It's an ancient art form, passed down from generations. I don't know who they were, but the Vikings.
Stonehenge would have been nothing without removalists.
Exactly. How do you think Uluru got there? Removalists, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, I was like, all right, I'll get coffees. I had water out the front of both houses so the boys could grab water. I had a carton of beer ready to go. I do my normal deal, which is I always say, if people get removalists, this is the deal you do. If they quote you $300, you say, boys, you get me $300 on the money, and I'll give you a $50 tip. So I had that ready to go. There was going to be a tip. There was food. There was coffees. There was water, right? Removalists rock up at 11, on time. Love that. And I said to the guy, I was like, hey, mate, just want to reverse up this driveway. And he goes, nah, mate, you can't reverse a truck up there. And I was like, I've actually reversed about 10 trucks up this driveway. You absolutely can. And he goes, you haven't reversed this truck up this driveway. And I was like, it's a 4-ton truck. It's the exact same dimensions as every 4-ton truck that's ever existed in the history of the world. Can you just reverse it up and it's going to make everything so quick? And he's like,
and was it automatic with a camera on the back?
It would have been an automatic, judging by... Now, here's the other thing is, I've worked removals that long. As soon as I can see, as soon as I look at people, I can tell whether they're good at their job or not. It's ability I have. I'm like that guy from that movie Sixth Sense with the dead people and stuff like that. I can detect, not dead people, dead shits, right? I'm like that guy. That's my ability. He's a dead shit, right? Straight away, these guys look like weak souls. And I was like, I'll let that slide. I'll get the truck up here. I'll do all the work. Doesn't matter.
Don't judge a book by its cover. It's fine.
Exactly. Anyway, so they tried to reverse up. He couldn't even get up the first lip of my driveway. I thought the turn would be a problem because it's a snake bend, right? He tried 3 or 4 times. His mate wasn't helping him. So, Brady, bang, clicked into gear, started navigating, started going left hand down, right hand down, give it some juice, you know, I've done it 1,000 times, right? So I kept, and then he just stopped the car and he's like, nah, I can't do it. I can't get it up here. I was like, mate, let me do it. I'll get it up there in 2 minutes. And he's like, no, you can't drive the car. And I was like, so now I have to pay extra because you can't get the truck up to where it goes. Is that correct? And he's like, let's just look at the house. I was like, whatever, mate. I was like, so coffees, you're not fucking getting them, right? You're not getting the coffees at all now.
Cancel the coffees, all right.
Cancel the coffees. You're not getting the coffees. You can't get a truck up a fucking driveway. That's half your job. Anyway, I'm not going to get angry. It's the new Brett. I don't get angry anymore. Now, we started walking around the house. Everything was in the driveway. There was about 5 items that were in the actual house. And he walks around. He's like, oh, yeah, this is a big job. I was like, it's not. It's a super easy job. There's only furniture. There's nothing small. It's 1 truck journey. He's like, nah. It's about 2 or 3 journeys. I said, it's 2 or 3 journeys if you don't know how to fucking pack furniture, mate. It's 1 journey. It's 3/4 of a 4-ton truck, I'm telling you. He's like, no, it's not. I was like, mate, I'm telling you, it's 1 journey and it's 3/4 of a truck. And then I may have been firm. Fair but firm.
Yeah.
Fair but firm. And anyway, they started walking towards a truck, I assume, to get their trolleys. Yeah. And they just fucking drove off.
Oh, man.
But as soon as they got in the car and it started moving forward, I was like, oh, they're just going to straighten her up. And then one of the guys still had his window down and just enough to catch me yelling, you fucking weak cunt. And then off they went. It was great.
Man, when you rang me to tell me this, my girlfriend overheard it and she was in stitches. She said it was because the run-up that you've gone to all this effort. You're like, oh, look, I'm a hard man, but I'm going to go soft on these guys. I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. And then this fucking happens to you. It was absolutely great. Oh, man, that is... I felt so sorry for you because, look, as far as I'm concerned, right, I could be wrong. 4-ton truck, if it's got, like, a reversing camera or if you've got someone helping you reverse it and it's an automatic, you can get it anywhere. You can get it anywhere. That's my motto. You can get it anywhere. I've been driving one for ages. I used to have to drive a manual without a camera by myself. Just using the mirrors. I'm like, maybe people should just do that for the first month.
Well, I was in the rear view, not the side mirror, navigating him, telling him when to turn, and like, I've honestly got 10 of them up there. That I didn't even think that was a problem because that's straight up, and then you do a little bit of a turn. The spot I thought would get stuck is at the side of the building because you got to get it like within an inch, like just skimming it, and then you turn. I thought that's what would bone him. Couldn't even get up there, and I was like, fuck this guy. And so I had to quickly run down. I was ringing all my mates who had trucks and things like that. Couldn't get anything because of COVID, suburbs. Picked up a trailer. And this is what makes me happy after I fucking abused, obviously, Jake Removals, you fucking cowards. I'm calling out another company.
Look forward to tagging them on Instagram and me having to delete that. But anyway, let's...
And then me tagging it again, then you deleting it, and then me ringing you saying, if you fucking delete it again, I'm going to come and bash you as well.
Well, they gave you a refund, so I think hopefully those weak dogs would have got a throttling.
Yeah, but I end up getting a trailer, which was, and I got it in 2 trailer loads, which those trailers, per meter square, 4 of those trailers can go into a 4-ton truck. So fuck you, you little cunts. I was right, and that's all that matters. As long as I'm right, I'm happy.
Yes. Yeah, he's done it.
Yeah.
Man, this is absolutely great. You're a wild man.
I know. And you know what? He goes, it was going to be a 3 to 4 hour job. I did it by myself with Fee in 2 hours 45. So not only did we do a better time than they fucking were saying, I got it in less loads than they have. So fuck yes.
Yes.
King. Yes.
Man, that is... This is
why does it say remaining meeting time?
Oh, because I just got to upgrade the plan. I'll pay it now.
Oh, okay. That's okay. What else was I gonna say? So the move went well, and then I was like, you know what, Brett, you've deserved it. You deserve a week off. Do you need to pay this before I keep telling the story?
No, keep going.
Okay. Sunday, I'm not gonna have a big day of renovations and fixing shit. I'm just gonna do a few little small jobs, watch my Eagles, have a few beers. That's all I'm gonna do. Right. Mounted the new front hose out the front. Mwah, looked good. You know, had my level out there, made sure it was beautiful. Plumb as fuck. Put it on the fence. Love it. Right? I was like, now I've mounted that hose. I'll go out the back and just quickly mount this other hose to a brick wall. I borrowed a hammer drill off my mate. Now, Nick, when drilling into bricks, do you know what the rule is when you drill into bricks?
No, I do not know the rule.
So measure the length of the brick. Say it's 40 mil or 50 mil or whatever the fuck it is. And so you find out the full length of the brick and you come back 10 mil and then you mark a spot on your drill piece.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that way you don't actually drill through the brick and go, so if it's a double brick house, you don't actually go into the little cabin in the middle. So that way there's no chance of you hitting services like water, electricity, things like that. It keeps you alive. So mark how long the brick is, 10 mil back, and then mark it on your drill piece and never go past that point, right? Mm-hmm. Did all those things like a seasoned professional and started drilling. Drill. Bang. Water fucking exploded in my face.
Really? Oh, yeah. What?
Yeah. Yes. So I was like, what the fuck is going on here? Water's pissing out in my face. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck's going on here. Like, it doesn't make sense. I didn't go that far into it. I was like, is there some weird thing going on? So I was like, shit, I've got to, water is gushing out. So I ran to the front. I killed it at the front, killed all the water off, and tied it harder than you have to so it can actually stop, because otherwise the water just runs a little bit. Right? I was like, fuck, run back to the sink. It's still oozing out. I'm like, what the fuck is that? And I was like, I know it's not my house, but I've got to fix this. Ran to the boot of the car. I had a cement bit on my on my grinder, and just fucking started cutting bricks out and fucking chiseling them away and shit, banging off the side of the wall. Smashed this brick off, and I'm like, what the fuck? So halfway, this is why it's a bit of a dodgy build, because you're meant to have the pipe in the cavity, but someone's done a shit job of the pipe. So instead of putting it into the cavity, they've just cut a brick in half and put it against the wall. So when I've drilled halfway through the brick, it's hit the fucking pipe and it fucking exploded.
Oh, man. You're kidding me.
The worst.
Oh.
The worst. Now I've got a little bit of experience fixing things, but like copper welding, that's out of my field. So I rang the guy I work for, Craig, from Miller Projects or whatever his company's called, and I showed him a photo, and he's like, brother, you have no idea how much damage you have just done. And I was like, it's just a fucking
Really?
pipe. But the pipe was cemented in. And he goes, you can't get to it. You can't fix it.
Really? So, sorry, man. So you got a grinder. You're grinding away bricks. Just is the water still pissing out at this point?
It's only dribbling out because I've turned the tap off, most of it. But when someone turns your tap off at the front, still a little bit comes out because you've got to have water. There's like a legal thing. You always have to have water accessing the property, even if someone turns it off. So you've actually got to get like get a shifter and actually yank it to get the water completely off. So I released the pressure at the front of the house by turning the tap on, so it'd keep the water away from there, so it would run out the front.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, yeah, it's covered in cement, the pipe, but I was like, I can smash that out. And he's like, dude, it's on the corner of an old brick house. If you're going to smash that cement out, you've got to remove all these bricks around it. And he's like, I'm going to have to actually jack the side of the building up.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
So
He's
your
like,
boss told you this over the phone, or did he come over and inspect it?
Nah, he lives an hour away, so we just had a video chat, and he's like, dude, it's so fucked. So I'm having like, man, I was about to smoke a big old joint. Lucky I fucking didn't do that before this happened.
Oh.
And I was like, what the fuck? And he's like, mate, it's a nightmare. He's like, call me back, take these 4 bricks out, which won't affect the structure, then keep digging behind it, and then send me more photos. I kept doing that. And then I rang one of the boys at our work site, who's a plumber, and he was already on the chuff and couldn't come out. So he sent me he sent me his boss's number. I rang his boss. I sent the photo. This cunt's been a plumber for 40 years. And he goes, mate, that is one of the worst things I've ever seen. Worst spots I've ever seen. And that pipe, he's like, that's not a Sunday job, mate. I am not coming out. That's a 4 or 5 hour fucking job. And I was like, for a plumber to come out on a Sunday, I was like, that's going to be fucking, that's going to be like 2 or 3 grand. Plus I'm going to have to get maybe 2 grand, right? Then I'm going to have to get Craig to come out with jacks to fucking support the structure of the building. Then I'm going to have to get a brickie to come in and brick all that shit around it, the whole corner, redo the whole lot. I was like, man, it's turned into a fucking monumental job. I was like, this is fucked. And Craig just said, like, I've just got to step away from it. Like, I've got to actually come see it. This looks fucked. And I'm like, this is first night in the house. And I just had to go sit on the couch and just drink myself into oblivion. And then rocked up to work. And then 2 of the other plumbers were there going like, oh, how'd you go with the thing? I was like, mate, it's fucked. And I show one on the photo and he goes, my mate Remy goes, oh, I reckon I can get that. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I reckon. The other 2 boys didn't want to touch it. He's like, yeah, I reckon I can get that. It was because
really?
He goes, because I nicked it like a little hole in it. I'll put some photos up online. A little hole, but I didn't go through both sides of the pipe.
Oh,
and he's
right,
like,
okay.
He's like, I might be able to like get some fucking what was it? Was it not silver? Was it silver?
Soldering.
Yeah,
No.
silver solder. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I might be able to just get it, but I might also clog the pipe and we're fucked. And what I didn't realize is while I was hammering out a brick, I fucking put another nick a little bit further down in it as well. So I was like, this day cannot get any worse.
So is water still pissing out at this point, or did you patch it up?
You can't. We couldn't patch it. It couldn't do shit with it because it's too high pressure. So had to go 2 days without water, just fucking wet wipes and shit, showering at work. And then Remy came over on Tuesday and he forgot to bring the oxy torch. I was like, all right, but he had like another little fucking, I don't know what was like, not a butane, something, another little flame gun. And he was fucking hitting this thing for like trying to get temperature. Couldn't get it. I had to remove 3 more bricks so he could heat the whole pipe and remove the water. And he's like, he's like, face is red hot and burnt. He's like, it's not going to go, mate. It's not going to go. I'm like, come on. And the fucking he just tapped it a couple more times. It started to melt, and he just was like, it was like a fucking magician. He just was circling around the hole, and it clogged, and I was like, yes, yes. And then he like threw water on it, fucking steamed up, and we're like, okay. He's like, I think I've got it. I'm pretty sure I've got it. And then he ran out the front, turned the water on, bang, held. I was like, yes!
Oh, yes. That is so good, man. It's good watching a king. So the hole was quite small, and he's managed to.
Now the hole was actually like a decent size. Like I'd say, like I don't know. See that hole there? It was probably bigger than that. Decent size, but he had to just circle around it, and like it just added little layers and got gooey. Yeah. Circle, 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 and then he like pulled it out. He was like a fucking magician. And,
so he's using it. He couldn't kind of add metal to it. He had to draw it in, like close the hole.
Yeah, the when he was doing it, the silver was melting and cooling, melting and cooling, melting and cooling. So he was adding silver to silver to silver to silver to silver to close it.
Gotcha.
But trying to keep the flame on and off, so it would be hot enough to melt, but also stay, but melt, but not melt the thing back away. It was so stressful. Anyway, fucking did it, and I was like, mate, and I put up on the Facebook group, like, what's the closest dollar amount? Who's fucking got it? Blah, 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 blah. I said it was over $1,000, but he's like, mate, just sling me a carton of piss. And I was like,
you legend. Oh, what a legend. Yeah. Man, has he got a business or something, or does he work for you guys, I guess? I don't know.
No, he works for, I think they're called Heritage Plumbers. They're really good plumbers. He's the fucking king. Probably the handsomest plumber I've ever seen in the world as well. I don't know if you saw the photo of him. He's just a jacked, tattooed dude. Every plumber I normally work with is like fat and has the biggest ass crack in the world. And he's just this jacked dude with a mustache. And I'm like, man, he must absolutely slay it. But good on him.
Oh, man, that is... So what? How are you going to put all the bricks back? Are you going to do that? What's going to happen here? How are you going to rebuild a corner of a house?
Well, I lost my temper at certain said bricks and just started hitting them with a fucking hammer, and a few of them exploded. I've got, where it's at the moment, I've got a bit of wood there, so it's structurally it's fine. So I'm just gonna get another 2 bricks, and I'm gonna put it together myself, and put some mortar in there, and then we're off.
Man, that is the world's greatest story. I can't believe it. That is so brutal.
I know, dude. I know. And then, because it's so funny, at the moment we've been watching, you know how you've been watching that country fucking riverboat, whatever the fuck it's called?
River Cottage, yeah.
River Cottage. Me and Fee have been watching Renovations Australia. Have you seen that? Oh, right,
yes. No.
Have you seen it? Dude, you'll love it, because it's these old Victorian houses from like the 1800s, these derelict fucking pieces of shit houses, and these crazy guys and couples go and renovate them, but using the old way of doing things, like cutting timber by hand and fucking mortaring stuff with old methods and getting original parts and stuff like that. It's so good. It's crazy how they build the same way they build back in the fucking 1800s. They stick to traditional building practices. You've got to have a lot of cash.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's real fucking good. It's on Netflix. I highly recommend it. Yeah. But then we've been watching that, and Fee's like, just keeps going to me. She goes, they do something real difficult. She's like, you remember when you couldn't put the hose on the wall? I'm like, not now. Not fucking now.
Don't undermine me, please.
Not now. The only, like someone said, did you lose a finger? I was like, the only thing I lost is a lot of my ego.
Yeah. Oh, man. I just got off the phone to my dad. Now, he just lives on the border at Tenterfield, and he's going to do this motorbike ride with his mates, as I said in the last episode, with my mates as well. My brother and I couldn't come, sadly. But just talked to him on the phone, and because the weekend, like, before they went on the ride, Mum calls me and she goes, I don't know if they're going to get across. They've pretty strict on the border, but we're going to give it a go and see if they let us across into Queensland, right? And I said, what are you going to say? And they're like, well, we'll just tell them the truth. We're going on a motorbike ride. And I was like, oh, good luck, right? Next thing you know, I see a photo of them in Queensland. Like, how laid back. Excuse me, officer. We're on a very important motorbike ride here.
Only essential services. We're flogging this motorbike. Yeah, all right, you can come in.
Yeah. So get this, man. My dad's like 65. I think he's older. I don't know how. He's nearly 70, 65, 68 or whatever.
Let's go 69.
He's riding a BMW, pretty big bike. He's riding with a bunch of my mates that are around my age, like 30, and he says the first day it rained like piss down, and they were riding on this gravel road, so it was like ice on the top. You know when you got wet gravel, and you don't, it just got to create a small rut, then you're thrown out of the rut. So my dad's like over 65, right? Comes off twice.
What?
Right?
On the 1200 as well?
No, this was on the 650 on the small bike, right?
Yeah.
And so you had to, all my mates, they're on smaller bikes like Yamahas and shit. And so my dad's on this big pig, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna have to wait for him all the time, right?" But he must have got his skills up because he had to ride up the hills the next day in this rainforest, and he kept up, no worries. They kept taking their helmets off to wait for him, and he fucking killed it. Yeah, I was like, how many times? He goes, I only came off once after. Imagine coming off a motorbike when you're like 65. I can't believe
it. He's come off twice in one day and just gotten up. You're like, Jesus Christ.
And there's another bloke around his age, same thing happened, came off twice. He was on a Beamer 800. And I was talking about Stewie, the king, the guy that, one of Dad's mates that absolutely pins it. Even he came off. So it was a huge time for the border bunch.
Fuck.
Yeah, but yeah. And they pulled into this pub the first night, and they said they had to dry all their clothes, like it was pouring down rain. And this lady goes, "Oh, look, you guys are all together, right?" They go, "Yeah." She goes, "Look, there's just a bin out the back. Put some wood in it, and then just have that fire. You guys can have. I'll bring the beers out to you guys, and you can have your own little clubhouse and dry all your clothes next to the fire in the bin." I was like, "Oh God, I miss country pubs." Oh man,
that they just give a fuck. They're like, yeah, go out there. Who gives a shit? Not these fucking liquor license boring bullshit. You know?
But
no,
Mum
you gotta
goes,
be 2.4 meters inside.
Mum goes, the thing that impressed me the most is they were COVID safe. So,
oh really?
Yeah. She goes, Toogoolawah pub, the next one, not COVID safe, not very nice.
How did she know they were COVID safe?
Oh no, they kept saying, "Oh, wipe your hands, keep your distance," all that kind of stuff. But they were like, "Yeah, you can put wood in a bin in a shed out the back, unsupervised. That's fine."
Long as you're 1.5 meters away.
Yeah, you can basically set the pub on fire if you like.
Don't put your hands full of alcohol sanitizer near the flame. Thank you.
Yeah.
That
anyway,
fucking
man.
rules.
One of the guys sent me a great video that will make your mate of the week.
Right. Let's go.
This is from actually one of your mates now.
Is it? Which one?
Bilko.
Oh, he sent you a video?
No. My mate sent me a Bilko video. So,
okay.
Yeah. So here it is. Check this out. You can see it, right?
Yeah,
a short one. Yeah.
Jesus. Oh! Dude, is that him?
I don't know. I think it's one of his mates. But for those playing at home, basically, this bloke does a small jump on a dirt bike, but the jump is really long. So he's in the air for at least 3 seconds, just upended, and just absolutely destroys himself. We'll put it on the Facebook page.
He must hit something soft.
Oh, man. He must be flying.
No, that's not a jump. That's a fucking pothole that a fucking full drive's gone through either end. And he's
Yeah.
tried to jump it, and it's too muddy, and it's kind of flung him. I think he's got his front wheel stuck.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's just a pothole. You're right.
Yeah,
He's just... Man, he must have been absolutely flying.
dude,
Oh,
that
man.
looks like it broke his back.
The those crashes are so funny when the bike just is still revving out. I don't know how many times I crashed, and you just hear this.
When it's still going, it absolutely scares the fuck out of you. Or if it's on you, and it's like, you're like, fucking hell. I can't tell you the amount of times. The worst one is when you go down and then you go, fuck, that hurt, and then you're like, you like the exhaust pipes on your fucking leg just burns through your pants. You're like, fuck, Dad, get this fucking thing off me.
Yeah, man.
I remember the one of the times I got towed on a fucking quad bike. I was on I think it was only like an 80 or 85 or something like that. We were only in year 5 or 6, maybe year 4. And there was this paddock. Me and my mate Paul used to just fang around. It was like a big like dome. And we just used to just fang around, try and race each other and try and take over each other in the straight. The bike I was on died. And he's like, doesn't matter, I've got a fucking rope, I'll tow you back to the house. And I was like, yeah, cool. And put the rope in the middle of the handlebars, started going slowly, and then he thought it'd be funny, I was like, give it stick. I was like, this is taking too long. So we started fanging, and I was like, it was in neutral, it was like gutting along. The rope slipped onto the other side of the handlebars, yanked the handlebars, and fucking bang, I just went over the top. The four-wheeler went on top of me, and I was just like fucking pinned under the thing. Had to go get his dad to get the fucking thing off me. It was wild. And the dad was more worried about the motorbike. He's like, you broke the fucking guard. I was like, it was your son who did it. Fuck off.
One of my mates, his dad bought a new four-wheeler. He jumped straight on it. He was only young. Within 5 minutes, he ran over 4 plastic chairs, and then he put a star post through his foot.
Yeah, motorbikes aren't for everybody.
Legendary story. A legendary.
All right,
story.
Nick, I've got to fuck off, but I'm gonna love you guys and leave you. Hey, thanks again for tuning in. Thanks for sharing, liking all the iTunes crap. We're really enjoying some of the feedback we've been getting lately. It's been fucking awesome. We're in lockdown. The videos will continue soon. Thanks a lot, guys. Nick, anything to add?
No. We just got this interview with Limmy Bashes. We're gonna tag on the end.
Yep.
So we'll put that up. We'll put a video of that up on the Facebook. Big thanks. We got a couple of messages in. We got a bloke trying to sell us a BA Ute, a V8 one, which Brett, I've got to talk to you about this. I'm still kind of interested in it. Like, it's $2,000, and I get to drive a V8. And I was thinking, what if we go halves, and you use it as your work car? You know, that's what I'm thinking. I mean,
no, because I've just found a website which sells race cars.
I know, but man, we can't buy a race car to drive around.
Not with that negativity, you can't, Nick. We're not buying a BA. We're either getting an AU or an EB to take to Bathurst.
But But it's just a cool V8. But he said it doesn't have air conditioning. He's selling his BA XR8 Ute, and he's asking $2,000.
Nah, there's something wrong with it. How many Ks?
I don't know. Probably. He says it doesn't have air conditioning, so it can't be in that great nick. But I mean, even if we just drive around for a little bit, it'd be pretty sick.
I know you want a V8, and I respect that, but I don't have any love affair with a BA. You know, it doesn't have the AU charm or the XF. You know. So
we save up. We man, wouldn't it be great? This would be my ultimate dream, because I had an EB wagon V8. Oh,
Dude, that'd be great because then we can
ultimate
we can sleep in the back.
Oh, that would be the ultimate dream. We could drive that around. If anyone knows, but anyway, thank you, Will, from one of our favourite towns ever, Bendigo. We're going to come and see you, man. We're going to visit you. We might even do a little tour. Why not? You know, we go to Kyneton, stay at that Kyneton fella's place. I always forget his name. Sorry, mate. And we stay there. We stay at Bendigo.
Man, when we go to Bathurst, it's going to be a full Blakey and Kappa comedy tour as well. You let us know your shit pubs with skateboard ramps in it. We'll do a gig to 2 people. We've done it before. We'll do it again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's do
it. Not cowards.
Yeah. So, man, thank you for everybody that's wrote us messages and said, you know, talk to us. You know, we got Michael Gabord. He's always sending us messages. Super Dan, Big Watkins, Will Johnston, Daco, Heavy.
Nick, I forgot the guy who won the carton of export, which I'm going to send to him. Jordan William Mayer, right? I got him to do a victory speech. Ready?
Okay.
All right. After years and years and years of putting any variation of the number 69 into anything possible, it's finally worked out for me. Thanks, cunts.
Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, he said after years and years of putting the combination 69 into something, it's finally fucking paid off. So, Jordan William O'Meara, we're fucking sending you a carton of export, WA's finest. You know, get some caviar ready because they go hand in hand. That's all I'm saying.
It'll be great. It's about that time where everyone wants to fight a member of their family, and you'll be
and this gets you across the line.
Also, we got Kane from Mildura as well. So we'll have to visit him and David and Kim. And, because Kane invited us he said they've got big speedboats that race down the river at 200 kilometres an hour. So I was like, yes,
are you serious?
Please. Yeah. Kane from Mildura. He said, just listen to the ep where Mildura came up. Big motorsport town. He said, Phil Lamatina, top fuel dragster champion. Jason Crump, Speedway world champion. Lee Adams.
Nice.
We have big speedboats racing down the river. You guys will love it. Anyway, boys, I drive trucks. And your pod just makes my job so much easier. I love it. Big fan of you guys for ages. All the best. So,
yes.
Thanks, Kane.
What a fucking legend.
That was a truly nice story. Also, one last message as well from Graham. He said, hey, lads, I've been having a tough week. Who hasn't? But I sat in the sunshine, drank a beer, and listened to the latest Flat Stick. Then I told myself to stop being a cock and harden the fuck up.
That fucking rules.
Let's face it, I've got it pretty easy compared to many. So, yeah, he's got a couple of horses there. What are you sporting there, buddy Grazer? You got a few Palominos, Appaloosas?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, anyway, there's some breeds of horse. Arabs, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, so thanks, mate, for tuning in. Thanks for your great messages, guys. Anyway,
thanks
we'll
for
catch
joining
you
us.
soon.
We'll see you next week.
All right, mate. See you.
Oh, yeah.
Bye.
Until then, keep it flat. Stick. I think we had All right, I gotta go. Dinner's ready. I'll speak to you soon, brother.